Switch to Spanish Work Visa. Contract requirements for Auxiliar de Conversación. Welcome to Spainguru. Today we're diving into a hot topic for many Auxiliares de Conversación who are considering a switch to a Spanish Work Visa. Contract requirements. If you got a job offer and want to know the ins and outs of making this transition, stick around. We're covering everything from contract hours to salary minimums and even long-term residency options. Let's start with the main question. Can you switch to a work visa with less than a 40-hour contract? One lawyer told a community member that a 30-hour contract could work as long as the salary meets the minimum for the specific job's title's convenio. On the other hand, another lawyer mentioned that a contract under 40 hours might lead to extranjería questioning the application, especially if the applicant is not a certified teacher in Spain. On the other hand, however, that's not strictly accurate. The hours themselves don't determine whether or not you qualify as a teacher. What really matters is whether your salary and job title align with Spain's legal requirements for your position. Now, let's talk about a common alternative, arraigo social. This is an option for gaining residency and work rights through social integration in Spain after being 3 years in Spain, without being outside of Spain over 120 days within that period. It also requires a work contract to qualify. So if you are considering arraigo social as a backup plan, just remember that it's a different process and may require additional steps, like providing proof of a post-secondary education if you'll be teaching. And here you have the official requirements for arraigo social. A common question we get is about long-term residency. Does time spent on a student visa count towards the 5 years required for permanent residency, or technically long-term residency? Here's how it works. Although a student visa doesn't count towards the residency requirements for Spanish citizenship, it can count towards long-term EU residency at half of its duration. This means you will need to stay in Spain legally under student visa for 10 years to meet the 5-year requirement. However, some lawyers advise that a residency permit of some kind may still be necessary, as the student permit, technically a permiso de estancia and not a residency alone, might not be sufficient. Finally, about contract paperwork, some lawyers suggest that a pre-contract or initial contract with a later start date is enough to submit your work visa application. And they're right. For visa applications, the contract can include a future start date. The key is that it must be an official contract on paper, not just an informal agreement. To sum up, first, a 30-hour contract may be enough if your salary meets the SME for full-time, regardless of hours. Then arraigo social requires a work contract too, and could be a good option if you meet the requirements. For long-term EU residency, your student visa years count as half towards the 10th year total. And then you can submit your modification to work permit application with a contract that has a future start date. Just make sure it's formal and properly signed. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more helpful tips on navigating Spanish immigration.
Oh, and one more thing. Apparently YouTube says you're gonna love watching this video right here. I think you should watch it.